Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Trading Market Technicals morning call video for Friday, September 28th, last day of the month, last day of the quarter. It's going to be interesting to see if the big fund managers and money managers are going to start liquidating some of their portfolio or lighten up the long side. My guess is that if they did so, they've been selling as the week progressed. So I don't think you're going to get much movement. We are down a little bit in the pre-market, about 4.5 handles in the minis right now, and that's based on Spanish yields starting to widen, and also they have their stress tests with their banks as well. So I guess everybody's getting a little spooked and probably taking profits after that wild ride yesterday that we had. And as I mentioned, 2 days of selling, and here's a 3-minute SPY. I have Fibonacci retracements on here just to show you how we retraced this big move. We retraced right to the T, 61.8% retracement from the last 2 days, the prior 2 days sell-off. Now, here was Yom Kippur, so volume was light. We did get a little bit of a push down and lower, and I did mention, guys, be careful. Look for a possible rally or at least retracement back to 38 or 50. Well, we got 61.8% retracement. Now we're down again today. Next week is really going to be the start of whatever the trend's going to be. If it's going to be continuation up, or are we going to reverse and are we headed lower and having that correction, so to speak, if you will, during that seasonal weakness time of the year, which is right now starting. So yesterday I wouldn't read too much into it. Yesterday was basic short covering. But if you think about it, we gapped up here in this area, and if we started to sell off, you would think, okay, you know what, first 15-minute candle, we're down. I'm going to look to start getting short. And then all of a sudden, here we go with a big short covering rally. And then, of course, just a grind higher into the close, a little bit of selling, and then here we are. So, again, that's why I said don't get so I wouldn't be so convinced that we're headed lower until we get a trigger making pivotal lows and breaking pivotal lows, excuse me, if you will. And then that's when we really realize that, okay, the market has finally turned. We have a top in place, a short-term top. Let's look to sell rallies. And, of course, during the day, we look to sell rallies as well. But really, really key point here. You got to be careful here because with the markets, and I said, as the markets gets a little scarier, you're going to have the central banks start talking up their markets or saying that they're going to be have a rate cut or they're going to flood the market with liquidity, and that's what happened with China. And as you remember, that's what happened overnight here, and that's what happened. And it's just a trend. If you can follow that trend, doesn't have to be obviously the stock trend. If you could follow that trend of news or what the central banks are doing, they're going to talk this market up and they're going to try to keep this market elevated as long as they possibly can. Everybody knows the market should not be where it is, but you can't fight the Fed, and you have to deal with what we're dealt with intraday and, of course, our swing trading. So I want to get into the charts, and not a whole lot. So yesterday's move was a short covering rally, right? So I don't think there was anybody looking to really take positions. If anything, a lot of market participants, traders, investors are probably taking some money off the table. So now we're down again 4.5. Be interesting to see where this market goes today. I don't think it goes much lower. If it does sell off a little bit, because again, people are going to keep the markets where they are, keep them elevated, and going into the fourth quarter, which would start on Monday. NYMO. Okay, we had a nice little bounce back up again. We're still right here in this range, as you can see here. Plus 30, negative 30%. So really, this is not telling us anything except this little spike here that we had, which gave us an overbought reading, and then you see what happened, clearly sold off here. So not much really to tell us there. S&P, stocks above the 50-day moving average, again, highly elevated. Okay, we did get that little bump back up again, but this index, this indicator needs to roll back down into that 25-30 percentile if to really, really start looking to buy some stocks and at least to hold them for a swing trade. Let's take a look at the VIX in a different light here. I have the VIX here with the Bollinger Bands. I've had them on a 60-minute chart to show you that we do have inverted head and shoulders down here in this area. Not on this chart, but on the 60-minute chart. We have this big engulfing candle that we roll back down again from the last 2 days. So we're just chopping around here trying to carve a bottom here. So again, until the VIX really gets above here, above 18, 18 and a half, 19, then I'm going to get a little bit more interested in it. But as of right now, I'm just going to look at it and monitor it. I'm not going to waste too much time on that. Transports. I'm sorry, the dollar, U.S. dollar. I mentioned that we have this flag pattern here. We did catch that 20-day moving average. That 20-day hit it perfectly. Now here's basically, we out of this bullish falling wedge pattern, we have a bear flag here. Now this bear flag only it breaks below this little lower trend line. I do not have it drawn, but I just want you can see that flag here. Flag pole, flag pattern. And that's what usually happens when you come out of a bullish falling wedge. This wedge is quite steep, so this pullback here would be, hopefully we could get something in that 79, 79 and a quarter. Do not count out the dollar is what I'm saying. You're going to have a major dollar rally shortly, and it might not even be this year, but we're going to have a definite, whether it be a corrective rally or an impulsive rally, well, either way, we're going to have a rally that would probably get us back up into this area here, and then we would reevaluate, probably maybe sell off again after that Santa Claus rally, and then New Year probably start a really big market correction and probably a new trend in the dollar. Last one is the transportation, and then I'll get into the indexes. As you can see here, there's nothing here. Nothing good to say about this chart. Double top, broke the lower trend line, and it was just sitting here lower. So this is not telling me anything that I like to see if I was a bull. Okay, mentioned a couple days ago, so guys, watch the possible pullback, right? The correction, the little retracement, half of that move up, and that's basically what we have is about half of this move. Now we'll be interested to see. We don't want the market to take out 146.35 if you're looking for the market to sell off, right? Obviously, if you're a bull, different story. But if we're looking for some sort of a flag pattern, we want to look to see this market go maybe a little higher and then fail. Or if the market does stay lower, we open 4.5 points lower. That'll be about 40, 50 cents in the spiders, and that would kind of get it right around back down to this area here. And then obviously we'll see where we go for the rest of the week, for the rest of the day today, and then we'll see where that closed. The weekly charts will be interesting to see come this weekend and into Monday, which I'll have that on analysis on Monday. Okay, so now let's take a look at Apple real quick. We had a nice call on Apple. I got a lot of emails looking for the analysis, and a lot of guys made some nice money on that. They were basically on Monday. We were saying, all right, where do we go? Do we get? Are we looking to buy Apple up here? I said no. I would not be looking to buy Apple here, even on a longer term objective. Really, really overextended. I mean, as you can see here now, obviously it's correcting, which is nice. We did get a nice big bump up here into this average, into this support area, which I had. 656. It didn't quite get there, but it got to 658.62. Couple of points on a $680 stock is pretty damn good. So we did get a nice retracement. Now, where do we go from here, right? So we want to see Apple. I say Apple 690, right? 690-ish. Might give it a little bit of a go here, a little bit more. But we did get a big day yesterday, so it wouldn't surprise me if we retrace half of that candle again. And then we want to see, but want to see 2 consecutive days, and then if we can break back above 694, then I think we get a test of the highs. But today will be interesting. Again, today will be skewed because of what's happening end of month, end of quarter, window dressing. Okay, last one I'll let you guys go. Here's just a quick weekly chart. As you can see, volume picking up today, and if the Qs if Apple starts to sell off a little bit, obviously the Qs will break down. If we could get down below this area, this where that old double top was, 68.45, and then really take out that little doji right here at 67.50, then I think you got a nice little sell signal in the Qs. But we'll monitor that one day at a time. All right, guys, be careful today. It's Friday. Enjoy the weekend, everybody. Have a safe weekend, and we'll speak to you on Monday morning, first day. Take care, guys.